I appreciate your prayers this morning, attention for a while. I want to talk about defining moments. Life has defining moments in it. You ever had one of those? I remember one several years ago. Actually, it was this time of the year. My wife and I were visiting with a family. Had a nice home, 2-story house. We were downstairs visiting. Started hearing cries from upstairs. Dash up the stairway to see what's the matter. One of the bedrooms was on fire. The drapes had caught on fire and the bedstead was on fire. The carpet was burning. And thank you, Brother Steve. We see the door open. Flames are pretty high. Looked pretty dangerous to me. It was a defining moment. Everybody said, let's get some water. Put on some water. It was in the wintertime. Of course, called the fire department. One fellow I remember, he's going to put the fire out. He ran in and got a glass about this size and ran in the bathroom and he'd get a glass of water and run in and throw it on the fire. That was the best response he could think of at the moment. Another fellow said, well, let's get a garden hose. And the only one that I got is outside. It's got water in it, frozen solid. You know, if you are going to deal with defining moments, sometimes it's a good idea to think about them before they get there. My house is outside the city limits, and so I don't expect very much help from the Shawnee Fire Department if I catch on fire. So I keep a couple of hoses all the time hooked up to hydrants outside just because of that. He didn't have any that night. The one that he had was full of ice. My part in it, I'll tell you what it was. I told a lady who owned the home, let's get your valuables. There are others that are working on the fire. Let's get your pictures and the things you can't replace and get them out of here as fast as we can. Because you know what a flashover is? When the fire reaches a certain point, it flashes and it burns everything around it, and that's what we were afraid was going to happen in that room. So that's what we did. But somebody looked in the garage and found another water hose, and my son and my son-in-law, they wouldn't give up. They stayed in the room and they fought the fire. And they got it put out before the fire department got there. It was right at the point of flashing over, it looked like. And it ruined the walls and the paint and the ceiling, but it saved the house. It was a defining moment. It showed what people do when the crisis comes. And the thing about a defining moment is you don't get to go back and relive it. You can't change whatever happened. And the homeowner, actually, he just gave up on it. He said, well, the house is gone. Everybody get out of it, and there's nothing that anybody can do. But somebody else stepped in and saved it for him. Who was right? Who was right? If it had flashed over and it killed some people, we'd have said he was right to tell everybody to get out. There are defining moments in life, and they have a lot to do with what our future is going to be. I want to talk about one that's in the scriptures. It's in the 2nd of Matthew, of course, for this time of the year. When Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when they had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be born. And they said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written in the prophet, now Bethlehem in the land of Judah art not the least among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star young child, and when you found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also. When they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them till it came and stood over where the young child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. I'm thinking about defining moments. the word that's translated wise men, there wasn't an equivalent for that in the Greek language to what we would call it today. They said magicians or magi or wizards, but we would say scientists. These were people who studied the signs of the heavens. Now, that's one way God talks to people. The Bible said the heavens declare his handiwork. And